this next test is called the upper body muscular endurance test, or most people call it the push-up test. Essentially, I'm measuring the muscular endurance of my client's upper body by seeing how many push-ups in a row they can do. So there's no time limit here. It's just how many push-ups can they do until fail. However, it does have a very specific technique and protocol to it to try and make it a bit more standardized. So given that my client here is female, she'll be doing modified push-ups. One of the questions I get all the time is, they feel that might be a sexist approach. And it's not at all a question of sex. It's a question of making sure we're measuring the proper component of fitness. So what we mean by that is, Clark can probably do many, many push-ups with a standard push-up form, but maybe other people, other females can't. And so if they can only do 2 or 3 push-ups, that's not muscular endurance, that's a muscular strength test. So we want to make sure that we can get multiple reps to measure endurance. And just because of that, to try and compare other females to other females, we have to have all of them do the modified test. And so for the modified test form, Clara will actually be doing push-ups from her knees. She can cross her ankles if she likes. It's not absolutely necessary. What's very key here, and what people often make a mistake on, is the positioning of her hands. So what I'd like to do beginning normally is I'll have Clara actually lie on her stomach and tuck her hands under her armpits. So we notice how her triceps here are tucked in quite tight to her upper body. They're not out wide like standard push-ups. Other people typically call these military push-ups. And so that's the style that we'll be using. The other thing I've done is I've placed a mat here because when she's doing her repetitions, for the repetition to count, either her chin or her nose has to touch the ground. So given that this is a rougher surface, I've placed a mat here for her comfort. So Clara can go in the upright position. Things I'm going to be looking for once the test starts is, first of all, to make sure her back is straight throughout the test to prevent injury as well. I'm going to be looking down to make sure I'm seeing her nose or her chin touch the mat on every repetition. And I'm also going to make sure that her rhythm is constantly in movement. So what I mean by that is she'll obviously slow down over time as fatigue sets in, but she's not allowed to take any pause at any time. So if she wants to take a break up here and catch her breath, that would terminate the test. If she's in a lower position and she's really struggling to push up and she's barely moving at all, that would terminate the test. The other thing is if she's starting to miss multiple reps at a time, that could also be a termination of the test. And so I'm going to make sure I'll give her a warning when she hasn't, if she's not touching the mat or if her form is starting to sacrifice, if she's arching her back or dipping her back. And if she can't get back to correct form, I would then terminate the test. I'll typically recommend to my clients that they start a bit faster, because if you start too slow, you might get tired and you might miss out on a couple of reps. But Clara, if you're ready, you have any questions? She can obviously terminate the test whenever, even if she's going at a good speed. If she's not feeling comfortable, she can stop whenever she likes. So whenever you're ready, Clara, you can begin. Good job. Keep it up. Back is straight. Great job. All right. And that would be the termination of the test. Her back was straight. She had constant movement throughout. She chose to terminate, which is fine. Oftentimes, you'll see people in the position, they start doing this, and they're barely moving. You want to see full extension of the arms at every point, and all the way down so that the nose or the chin touches so that there's no cheating. You'll often see people arch their back as well. So just be mindful of that because this one has a lot of judgment call, and unlike some of the other tests, you can't really do it twice. She'll tell you her upper body's already fatigued, so there's not really a second try. You'd have to do it on another day. So you want to make sure you get it right the first time.